All right, let's jump right in. I want you to picture the exact moment a really good, high-value call is either won or lost. It's not when someone's just casually browsing around, no. It's when the lights start flickering, they smell that faint, scary burning smell, and this jolt of pure fear just hits them. And what do? They pop open 3 tabs, your site and 2 of your local competitors. Now, in that moment, they are not shopping for a bargain. They're not even really shopping for speed. They are frantically searching for an answer to one single question. Who is not going to make this worse? That right there is the "is this safe" moment, and it's where the serious calls are decided in just a few seconds.
So, does any of this feel familiar? I mean, you look at your analytics, you're getting traffic to the website, people are definitely clicking. But when it comes to those big, urgent jobs, the panel upgrades, the emergency calls, your phone's just not ringing off the hook like you'd expect. Well, the problem probably isn't your visibility. It's the message your website is sending in that critical, high-stakes moment. Let's really break down what's happening under the hood here. And this right here gets to the absolute heart of the customer's mindset. See, they're not just a lead in your pipeline. They're an anxious homeowner who is staring at what could be a potential disaster. All they're thinking about is their family's safety, their insurance, the risk of a fire. They're not just looking for an electrician. They're looking for a risk reduction expert. And the website that proves it can reduce that risk the fastest, that's the one that gets the call. It's a complete snap judgment, and it's based entirely on how safe and professional you look.
Now, what's so fascinating about this is the huge gap between what we think we're selling and what that customer is actually buying. Yeah, you sell panel upgrades, you sell wiring jobs and outlet installations, but that panicked customer, they're buying code certainty. They're buying a reduction in their fire risk. They're buying work that their insurance company will sign off on. And they're buying a predictable, calm process that won't just add more chaos to their lives. They want definitive proof that you'll do it right, you'll document it, and you'll leave them safer, not more anxious. So as they're scanning your homepage, these are the silent questions just racing through their mind. Okay, will this work pass a home inspection if I try to sell my house down the line? Is my insurance company going to have a reason to fight a claim later because of this work? And of course, the big one. After I pay all this money, is it just going to fail again in a year? If your website doesn't proactively answer these questions with some kind of hard proof, the customer does not give you the benefit of the doubt. They assume the worst, and bam, they're gone. Click over to the next tab, your competitor who just looks like a safer bet. So how do most of us try to answer those fear questions? With this phrase. Yep, we slap licensed, bonded, and insured right at the top of the page, thinking, hey, that's the ultimate trust signal. And you know what? It used to be. But now, it's just the bare minimum. It's table stakes. It's what absolutely everyone says. And because of that, it's just become background noise that doesn't really differentiate you or reduce that customer's perceived risk in any real meaningful way. And here's exactly why that fails. Licensed insured is turned into a slogan. It's not evidence. You're basically just saying, trust me, at a moment when the customer is desperately looking for proof. And since literally every single competitor has it on their site, the phrase has just lost all its power. It doesn't signal safety anymore. It doesn't signal that you're more competent. Customers in these high-stakes situations, they need something tangible, not just words. Okay, so if that old weak slogan is out, what's in? Well, you replace it with a strong foundation of proof that I like to call the safety proof stack. See, safety isn't just one thing. It's a stack of evidence that builds on itself. It starts at the bottom with real clarity around your license and your coverage. I'm talking numbers, not just the words. Next up, you show that you are ready for permits and inspections. Then, you hit them with the most powerful layer, actual evidence of your real, clean, professional work. And finally, you cap it all off with crystal clear warranties and guarantees. This is how you build real trust, and you do it fast. All right, let's get practical and look at a real-world example of how this plays out. Take your typical panel upgrade service page. Most websites, they just list the service, and that's it. But they don't define what a safe professional job actually looks like. There are no scope boundaries, there's no expectation setting, there's no mention of the process. And to a nervous customer, a page like this, it just feels like a total gamble. It screams risky because it lacks the structure and clarity they are so desperately searching for. Now contrast that with this. Imagine they land on your page and they see a simple, reassuring process flow. Let's call it the code certainty block. Step 1. We assess the situation. 2. We explain your options clearly.
3. We handle all the necessary permits and inspection scheduling. And step 4, we provide all the closeout documentation for your records. Look, this isn't a technical tutorial for them. This is powerful reassurance. It signals that you operate with order and professionalism, not just improvisation.
Okay, so let's talk about the kind of proof that actually gets the phone to ring. We're talking about clean, well-lit photos of your actual jobs, specifically those beautiful before and after shots of panels, wiring, outlets. But here's the real magic. It's the caption. A simple caption that says, "What was unsafe? This old overloaded panel." And then what changed? A new panel with the proper breakers all labeled for safety. A few real examples with context like that, they're 100 times more powerful than a vague review because it feels tangible. It feels inspection ready.
And listen, this proof can't be buried on some About Us page nobody ever clicks on. It has to live right where the decisions are being made. So, on your homepage, those safety signals, like your actual license number and a clear Why Choose Us section, that needs to be above the fold. On your service pages, that is exactly where you put your job-specific proof, like those before and after photos right next to your process expectations. And even on your contact page, you gotta set clear expectations for response times. Remember, proof that isn't seen at the moment of decision simply doesn't count.
So, it all comes down to this one last critical question. I want you to look at your own website, but through the eyes of that panicked homeowner. Is your site actively proving safety and building immediate trust? Or is its lack of evidence actually creating a perception of risk, causing that customer to close your tab and call someone else? Because in that split second is this safe moment, proving you are the safest choice is the only thing that actually matters.